Hello, welcome to my workshop. My name is Chris Pine. The Galileo Thermometer project, I got a lot of positive feedback. Thank you so much, as always. Very positive audience that I have. And a lot of people were, I don't know if impressed is the word, but they were just really liked the idea of a shelf to hold that. And many people stated that they had one and they never even thought about making a shelf for it. After I didn't receive it, I bought it, like I said, at a garage sale, and I don't remember exactly, but I know for a fact I didn't pay more than $2-3 for that item, and I'm sure it's worth a little bit more than that anyway. So I just liked the way it looked. I really don't care if it tells the temperature correctly. The way I understand that those work, on my particular one, the grouping is only from 70 degrees to 82, I think it is. So you're only going to get a reading if it's in that range. So if it's above 72 degrees, the way I understand it is you're just going to have all the balls at the top of the cylinder. If I'm saying that right, if I'm not, go look it up. I'll leave a link down there that explains the whole thing. So as the temperature rises, the balls will fall. So if it's 72 degrees, the 70 degree one is going to sink to the bottom of the cylinder. And so you're always reading the temperature on the lowest ball that's in the top group, that's floating. The floating balls, the lowest one is your temperature. So it's very interesting how that works. Mostly it's a decoration and I enjoy it. It looks neat and it is kind of neat. Many people commented on the way I cut the top of the backer board to look sort of like the top of the cylinder, and that was my intention, of course. Thank you very much. I just thought of that as I was doing it. It looked kind of plain back there, and was I just going to round it over, or what was I going to do? So I cut it that way. I apologize. I did in the comments already. I don't know why I thought Steve French had come up with the lay bucket lid, but it was actually Nick Ferry. I was trying to make a joke and I blew it. I blew the punchline. I guess because it's French lay, in other words. I was thinking of Steve French. I have no idea why I linked him and that joke together, but I didn't do a very effective joke. I guess the joke's on me, so there you go. That's nothing new, though. My whole life, I've been the brunt of many jokes. Again, it's the Galileo Thermometer, a lot of fun. Simple project, simple shelf, made of walnut, my favorite wood. Walnut and cherry, maple, all domestics, but some of my favorite wood to work with. Again, I'll leave in the comments below explanation, if you care, about how the Galileo Thermometer works. Someone had asked me about in the video that I made that project, they asked me about the disc sander, and they asked because it was on my lathe, and that's exactly what it is, as you can see over my shoulder here. And I will go to that now and show you what I did to make that. Someone in my video about the Galileo Thermometer noticed I was using a disc sander on my lathe, and that's exactly what I was doing. This is it here. It's just made out of an old piece of melamine, and I put a faceplate on it, centered it, and then I put it on my lathe. Okay, at that point I cut it on the bandsaw in a round shape, but it wasn't perfectly round, and I didn't get the faceplate on it perfectly centered. I did pretty close. So at that point I put the tool rest out here and just lightly turned this until it was centered and round. I bought a self-adhesive disc sander disc at the woodworkers show. I don't remember what this was, 100 grit I think. Glued it to the face of that, and there you have it. Now you have a disc sander. As for the platform, it is also made out of scrap melamine, and I just made it to fit on the bed of the lathe. As you can see, these pieces are angled to fit just right. I found where my center point roughly was, made the height of the table accordingly, and it just fits on there like this, and then you slide it up next to the sanding disc, and it works really well. I want to get a disc sander eventually, or some type of sander. I notice a lot of people have the what is the brand? The one from Home Depot, the one that has a spindle sander and a belt sander on it. I know like Steve Carmichael has it and several other people do. I'm thinking about getting that one, but until then, this serves a very good purpose and it works just as good. And so I was just showing you how I had done that because someone had asked about that in the comments on the Galileo Thermometer project. What about that Super Bowl? Wow, what about the playoffs this last weekend? I feel so bad for Green Bay. My goodness, I think they played a better game the whole game. They just didn't pull it out at the end. And Seattle won. And man, that was a tough one for Green Bay fans. And I'm not a particularly a Green Bay or a Seattle fan, but I felt bad for Green Bay. Man, they did such a good job that game. They really, my opinion now, it's just opinion. Don't get mad at me, all you Seattle people. But I think Green Bay played a better game that game. It'll be an interesting Super Bowl. I am hoping it's close because I have no real fan of either team. So I hope it's just a clash of the Titans, bang, bang, Super Bowl. I hope so. It'll be good if it is. Seems like oftentimes time we get to the Super Bowl, one team is just so much better than the other. And last year, I hate to say it, but that was true, man. Denver just got their lunch ate by Seattle last year, but hopefully this year it'll be a little closer, more of an entertaining game. One shout out I'd like to do is for a guy named Simon Beggs, and he does have a video attached to this. It was on Instructables.com, and I'll leave a link for it. One of his projects that he recently made was what he calls a giant Lego man. Now, if any of you know Legos and you know what those little Lego toy men look like, this is cool. He made one out of wood, and he made a giant version. It's probably, about that tall. It's really, really neat. I may have to do this project sometime in the future. So if any of you want to do it, hey, man, run with it. It's cool. But neighbor's car's going off. Anyway, that's just something I wanted to show you. I think that's really just an incredible project. Really turned out well. And that's really all I have this week. I hope you all are doing well. I thank you so much for watching my videos. Again, tell all your friends. My channels are growing. It seems like they're growing just at a constant, regular rate. They're not exploding, but they're just growing. And I appreciate it so much. You, the viewers, make it worthwhile. And I love when we get to talk and interact on comments and whatever. So I hope that you will keep watching. And hey, tell all your friends. Until next time, God bless. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.